the provinces in Netherlands. The governor presided over from the north and south coast of Africa. He arrived over here on 16th of January 1758. He died the same year, 12 March, at the age of 41. Less than 3 months he spent over here. He might have died through malaria or yellow fever. He was buried right in this place. There was a pastor called A. Andresi. He came from Vera. Vera is a town in Zeeland. He wrote all these things in the form of tributes. All that he was saying was that the governor was a good man and a God-fearer. Good man and a God-fearer at the time of slavery. How good he was. I think all the pastor was good. It was seen as a normal business.
Yeah, like it was part of them or something.
You slavery, now you say you're a good man. God-fearing. You slavery, you're God-fearing.
All the history has been documented. There are the books on it. Hello, please, you come inside. In this room, about 130 women were kept here for 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months. These are the original iron bars.
130 women were kept here?
Yeah, 130 were here for 1 or 2 or 3 months. Over 300 years. We were getting rusted. We just replaced them with wooden bars. If these wooden bars were to be the original ones, the captives would have easily escaped. This wood here is original. The second one at this side. They are the two main original beams by the Dutch. Local red oak, the rest are new. There are two different kinds of bricks here. Red bricks by the Portuguese. Yellow bricks by the Dutch from Holland. They brought them to balance their ships. In return, when the captives, we call this kind of bricks ISO scales. It's named for a river in Holland. There was a program held over here last 4 or 5 years ago, reenactment of the slave trade, an exhibition. People volunteered to sleep in this room for 1 night, just experience how our ancestors went through. And because the captives were half naked, those who slept here for the program used the wine cloth on the floor just to cover themselves to demonstrate with the oil lamps over there, source of light. As for the size of the wall, the thickness of the wall, none of the captives escaped over here. Once you are here, it's 2 things. They survive or you die. 3 out of 10 survived in this castle. Children were not counted as a person. They were just added to an adult and sold as one person. But the records over here, we are talking of 1,000 captives in every 3 months. In 1 year, about 4,000 captives. And the trade lasted almost 400 years. Those who died in their various forests were not counted. People at times ask this question that the Europeans were doing business. If their motive, their intention was gain much profits, then economically, they're taking good care of them, rather than allowing them to die and so on. But from my point of view, the supply of the captives were more. It wasn't in scarcity, they never mind, because if they die, they'll still get some. They were seen as an asset or commodity, not as humans. The coastline of West Africa were termed as the white man's grave as a result of this tropical disease, malaria and yellow fever. Only men were here. Some of the officers were sexually abusing the women here. The governor would stand at the top, that's the balcony. He would then order the soldiers to open the doors for the women to assemble here, only few ones. He would look through them and make his choice. The one the governor selected, or the chosen one, must have been the den for several months without washing down. We have a place on the way to Kumasi as St. Manson. That's where the captives will have their first or last bath before they brought over here. Yeah, so when the governor selects someone, you have to get water from this well. Is to wash down in the middle of the courtyard before to make it pass through and access to the governor's bedroom. When the ships had arrived, some of the women were likely seen to be pregnant. They were separated. Houses were built in the town for the pregnant ones. After some time, the children were brought back to the castle to be educated as the new officers. And that was the beginning of the formal education over here from 1529. Their mothers, we call them lucky ones. Why? They remain here as cooks, not as captives anymore. In 1637, some of the Dutch officers moved to the town. They customarily married the women over there, and they had children with them. Along the coastal areas, we have so many European names over here. Van Dyck, Van der Poel, De Geer, Viella, Duncan, so many names, with a light color skin, or the mixed blood Africans. It brought about disunity among the Africans and the Africans themselves. As a result of the color differences, people were looking down upon the fellow Africans. Indirectly, Europeans created divide, conquer, and rule. It's still going on. We have this metal board here, cannon ball. Initially, we used to have at least 8 outside boards over here. There were chains through them. The women who were resistant to be by the officers, the chains would be tied around their ankles here. No food, no water. Whether raining or shining, they will stand here till the time they'll give up for punishment, just to breaking down their spirits. It's quite heavy. You can try to lift it and see.
No way, no.
The largest dungeon for the female captives, about 150 women were kept here for 1, 2, or 3 months. They are staying in their various rooms, depends on the arrival of the ships, how often the ships will come. Buckets were placed at various corners to ease themselves. Not all the captives were from Ghana. It got to a point that some of the captives were weak, they could not even walk from the middle of the dungeon to where the buckets were placed. They have to do everything on the floor. Feces, urine, vomiting, blood, they slept in it. There were no mats for them. That's the original floor they slept on. All the big entrances were closed with metal gates. The air from the small doors was not enough for those at the back. That was the other source of ventilation. It was even collected in a emergency. They were keeping their gowns, their chemicals in that room. If there is a leakage over the descent, we just go straight here, go to the air and kill them. For the dead ones, they were tied to stones and we threw them to the sea. That was the only means of burying them. Of course, there's a stench over here. We could have used chemicals to clean this place. But don't forget, this is history. We have to maintain the originality of this place. All these flowers at the back by the visitors for remembrance. Yeah. This person who brought the ring came from Portugal and was very sad after the tour.